It's on Twitch. Oh my God, we're live on Twitch, you guys.
We're on Twitch.
Oh, what the heck?
I always
Twitch.
wanted to be a streamer.
Bro, we're so cool. We're on Twitch.
Yep.
Twitch.tv/IveStormer.
Oh, by the way, Kyle, Anthony, the PM, left some comments on the PR.
Yep, I just got that email. That should be good.
Me too. Ooh, there are people that are coming.
This
Are people that are coming?
Oh, I'm getting nervous. Wait, why is Eric here? Is that the Eric I know? Please
Hi,
don't tell me it's Eric.
everyone.
Eric, you can't be here.
Let me get the slides prepared. Um, we're gonna wait for a couple more minutes and just wait for everyone else to join. And I'm gonna mute everyone for now. If you guys have questions, feel free to unmute yourself or send them in the chat at any point. Mintu, do you mind being the point person to check the chat throughout the presentation? And if anyone has any urgent questions, just like feel free to stop us. Okay, Daniel, do you wanna, ready to start?
I am ready to start.
Okay, great. So welcome to Town Hall, everyone. I'm just going to go over a little bit of the structure because it's going to be different from usual. This time we have people from our core organization as well as people from our community. And we're going to talk a little bit about the distinction of that later as well. But to make sure that everyone gets as much as they need out of this particular meeting, we're going to talk about updates on all of the programs that we have, introduce what all of our teams, DevRel, marketing, everyone is working on. And then towards the end of the actual presentation, we're going to have a general Q&A section where you can ask questions related to anything that we've talked about, or what is the project, why are you here, those types of questions. And then at the very end, we're going to have a chance to split up into different voice channels directly in Discord. So if you have questions about a specific program and you want to get a chance to talk face-to-face to one of the people that are organizing that program and just like working on it behind the scenes, then you're going to get a chance to do that too. But yeah, Daniel, I'm going to give you remote control access and let you take it away.
Thank you, Shreya. So hi, my name is Daniel. Nice to see everyone here. So I'm going to start with this slide because it brings me a lot of joy. And I love the pose, especially Kyle, who's doing the smiley face on top of a plant pose. So yeah, this is our amazing part of our amazing team that powers BIP Project and allows us to do all the amazing things that we do as a team. And yeah, we're super excited to have you in this first community town hall. So we can talk a lot about what we're doing as an organization and where we're headed next. So yeah, that's me. That's my face. I'm Daniel, and I'm the president of the project. Cool. And we have a really simple mission. It is to make technical education accessible. And everything that we do, from our elementary school programs with K through 5, through our more university programs targeted at helping our professors as well as our TAs teach better, are all aimed at making sure that technical education is accessible to everyone, whether you're a super beginner or someone who has a little bit more experience that is ready to break into the tech industry. So yeah. So here's the problem. We need to help students from rural or underserved areas get the jobs they want to be part of the tech industry. So when I was looking for a job, like that was a couple months ago, a lot of startups and companies were mainly hiring from like UC Berkeley, Stanford, because they didn't have like the connections they needed with like recruiting and stuff to actually reach out to students from other universities that are more rural or underserved. So I really wanted to work with university students from across the country to actually help them get tech jobs in Silicon Valley and prepare them to enter the very competitive tech industry. So we are currently developing at Bit Project a scalable open source education initiative to prepare students, regardless of where they live, to enter the tech industry, equipping them with the essential skills necessary to be really successful, especially during the interview process. So we do this through, oh yeah, before we get to how we do this, I just kind of want to talk about COVID-19 and exactly what impact it had on our organization. So we originally started as a student org out of UC Davis, just me and a couple of friends trying to break into the tech industry and kind of do some good for the world. So doing a lot of in-person workshops, in-person community service events, things like that. But once COVID-19 hit, it kind of led to us reconsidering what it meant to be a student organization. And out of like a very, very, very long Zoom call, we determined that we should take this time as like a blessing in disguise to help disseminate what we cultivated at UC Davis, which was a very unique culture around supporting each other and learning from each other, to other universities where they necessarily didn't have that. So that's kind of how COVID-19 allowed us to meet all of you guys here, because there are students from everywhere, from Illinois to Massachusetts, all over the country, that's coming together to solve a really, really widespread problem, which I think is amazing. So yeah, so this is kind of my final slide, and I'm really excited for you guys to take a look at what each of the programs at Bit Project is doing right now and how everyone is working together within the organization, especially during a pandemic. So Bit University is the first program that I would love to introduce. So Bit University is a program that we started a couple months back to help professors who are teaching at state schools, community colleges, Hispanic serving institutions, and HBCUs to help integrate data science and other technical skills into their interdisciplinary classes. The reason that we're doing this is because we realized that a lot of students who are graduating with social sciences majors or like communications or kind of the non-STEM majors were actually being required to know certain coding skills to get research positions and like jobs in the industry. So we really want to help those students get the essential skills they need to succeed in their career or in research. So that's why we started Bit University. And we're proud to say that Bit University is now officially integrated into the first class, which is a digital history course at CSU Fullerton. And we have plans to expand later this year into Sac State and other colleges across the US. BitCamp is the second initiative I'd love to introduce. So BitCamp is free software engineering bootcamps built and hosted by Bit Project. And what we do is that we introduce key technical skills that students need to be really qualified candidates for tech jobs in very short increments where we give them like hands-on practical experience to actually get to know and learn these skills. So for example, Natalie and Bo, who should be both here in the Zoom call, and you'll get to interact with them later, had built amazing, cool projects with Microsoft Azure, which we collaborated with Microsoft on. So those are kind of examples of things that we do in BitCamp, where we teach kind of very difficult and technical skills in a pretty short amount of time using hands-on projects. And they're completely free. And we're excited to expand our offerings of BitCamp as we have a couple in development, as Kyle, our Director of Developer Relations, will talk about later. BitQuest is very fun. It's kind of one of my favorite parts about Bit Project. So BitQuest is our K-5 outreach initiative where we get young students really excited about science and technology. So the amazing primary education team, Mary, Jasmine, Lily, and the rest of the primary team are working really hard over the pandemic to actually put on live science experiments every Friday on a live Microsoft Teams call, where they work with hundreds of students across the US, I think, to make them super excited about science. And I saw like Lily make a DNA model out of gummy bears, and you guys, it was so cool. So I would really highly suggest checking them out after the town hall. And the last and most important part of our program at the project is developing a community and also putting a real emphasis on diversity and inclusion. So we actually have established a team for community, which Shreya is leading, as well as diversity and inclusion, which Crystal is kind of managing. And we would love to talk to you at the end of this like presentation about how we're fostering a sense of community within the project, as well as how we foster diversity and inclusion. So yeah, that's kind of my spiel. Atul, do you want to take it away?
Awesome.
Sure.
I'm going to pass on the. Are you able to control it?
1 second. Yeah. Oops.
Great.
1 second. There's a bit of a delay. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So hey, I'm Atul. I'm one of the Bit project developer advocates who's currently in a collaborating with this project. Where, like Daniel said, we're currently introducing a data science curriculum in collaboration with Professor Jamila Pebu at CSU Fullerton, where we're basically creating a data science curriculum for her digital history class. So the purpose of both this course and also just what Bit University is as a whole is to provide a very practical, functional data science education to non-technical students or students who didn't traditionally come from a CS background. And to that end, we're basically going to be teaching them about tools such as Python and various other libraries like NumPy or Pandas in order to help them with certain like research tasks or any other endeavors in the future. So I just want to give a very brief rundown as to the goals and just the philosophy of why Bit University was started and how it's been going so far. So like we mentioned before, like these days, like all jobs are becoming more and more technical, more and more digital, and even certain positions who were completely not technical at some point and are requiring some sort of data, like data science, programming, some sort of technical components to their jobs to actually function properly. And to that extent, like a lot of employers have been voicing concerns of how recent graduates don't really have the skills that they need to actually be successful in these positions. So that's something that at Bit University we're trying to really address, and that is of course to give students in various non-technical fields such as history or political science or business, like a very basic education in data science and how to analyze things, how to make conclusions on, so that they could take this experience and really focus on answering some more complex and more sophisticated questions in whatever endeavors that they go on to do in the future. So we actually already started this program at CSU Fullerton last week, where we gave our first lecture on it, and it went very well. Like students were mostly very excited about it. Pretty much all students were at the very least curious to know about how this curriculum could benefit them and how they can actually use it to the jobs that they pursue. And it's actually kind of interesting because most students in that class were actually graduate students. They were people pursuing their master's. So like it's actually even more prudent that we could provide this data science, because as you get higher up in the in your education level and you get to more I guess more demanding positions, like this education really comes into play, and how to handle data really becomes that much more important. So yeah, and that's it. That's so in the coming weeks, we're just very excited to actually introduce the curriculum and start teaching and actually get the feedback on how we could improve this and expand this to other colleges and other classes.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Atul. And Daniel, if anyone is interested in getting involved in a program like Bit University, I think we're posting some things on the Get Involved channel in Discord, so you check them out there. And feel free to reach out to Atul or Daniel directly on Discord, DM them if you want to be a technical developer advocate or a staff developer advocate. They'll let you know what the next steps are. Kyle, are you able to take over?
I am. It says I am in control. Yes, I am in control. Hello, everybody. Awesome stuff. Atul and the university team. So real brief about me. I'm Kyle. I just graduated and I'm a software engineer on the Google Privacy and Data Protection team. I'm also the Director of Developer Relations here for Bit Project. So overseeing the programs that Daniel mentioned, the ones that start with Bit. That's me. Cool. So Bit camps, fundamentally at their core, these are free 4 to 8 week software engineering boot camps. We want to be exposing students to the cutting edge technology that they would not have otherwise have access to. So I'll go over a couple of these very briefly in detail. As Daniel mentioned, BitCamp on serverless, so Azure serverless functions. Bo and Natalie heading up this one. We have this partnership with Microsoft that gives us 2 big fundamental benefits here. So we have software engineering mentors who actually work at Azure, who are helping the students, mentoring them, answering questions, and going along the course with them. And we also have planning advice and help from the developer advocate, Chloe Condon, also at Microsoft. So really have some nice lean-ins to the industry with these connections and providing that kind of networking resource to the students of the course. I have links in here. I will eventually be sharing the slides, but we'll also be discussing those later. So keep an eye out for the chat or in the Discord there. And then a little bit of background here. So this is Bo. Bo was a student in one of our previous Bit camps, and he actually developed a heart rate monitor app, which is why he's doing jumping jacks here, using these Azure serverless functions. And they were so involved that we engaged them to become the advocates and background here for developing the course, this new Bit camp on serverless directly for future students. So going above and beyond as students and engaging them now as educators for future students. Cool, cool. Another Bit camp we're working on right now is React. Henry's in here somewhere. He's Mintwax, I think, on the Discord. So the React camp here, introduction to JSX and React. This is a great first step into web development. This is an approach that the industry really takes towards building a website and engaging with this kind of front-end resource that some classes in universities will do, but it's usually not in your core kind of set of classes. So this, gives you an in constructed for beginners. So you don't already need to be super upperclassmen or in the industry to understand this kind of stuff. A very approachable way to get involved with front end web development and React.js, kind of top of the line tool in the industry right now. Also seeking help on the course, reach out in the Discord either to me or to Henry. Likewise, we also have a Bit camp on DevOps, also in development. This one's headed up by Michael. DevOps is the kind of fundamental infrastructure and team building tool in the industry. It's sought after. It's incredibly undertaught in schools. Developer operations really kicks into scale, and you're kind of seeing the components here in this visualization when you have industrial scale systems. So even startups, if you're scaling quickly and you're using things like cloud computing, circle back to serverless, shout out, you kind of scale very quickly and you run into these kinds of issues. So DevOps is understanding and optimizing these pipelines, automating everything that can be, and getting a real good grasp on the system that you're building, not just the code that you're writing. The content's looking amazing here. Michael's doing a great job. Links seeking help in course development. Again, feel free to reach out and ask questions here in the future. And lastly, data science. So you heard about the Bit University team. We're adapting that data science curriculum full-fledged and for classes into this kind of boot camp. Help from the Bit University team here. These are interdisciplinary and beginner level camps. So we're targeting some of them for non-CS majors exclusively and some for people who are just beginners and getting into it. We're going to be running these at Howard University to start out with. So we'll need both course facilitators. So if you are a Howard student, I know we have a couple of them joining us today. Welcome everybody. And kind of scaling these things for the future. This curriculum is really exciting. It's really good. We saw the university team's content and we're like, all right, this is boot camp level stuff. This is awesome engagement. So looking forward to seeing what that'll look like in the coming weeks here. Cool, I think that's all I had. So Shreya, you can have control back.
Awesome, thank you, Kyle. That was an amazing explanation. Feel free to go back into the slides and click on all of the links, and you know who to reach out to. If you're not sure who to reach out to and you still want to get involved, Kyle's the person to go. And I'm going to hand over the slides to our outreach team. Lily, let me know when you have access to control the screen.
I think I have access, yeah. Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so, oops, arrow. Yeah, it's not letting me click. Oh, there you go, okay. Oops,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
Sneak peek.
Okay, so, hi, my name is Lily. I am an upcoming fourth year biological sciences major at UC Davis, and I am the BitQuest coordinator for the primary ed team. The primary ed team focuses on making fun and educational STEM curriculum for grades K to 5, and they range from all types of concepts such as biology to computer science and to engineering. And prior to COVID, we used to go into classrooms or have the students come to campus to work with us, and we and the volunteers would present the material and have them follow along to the activity. However, now that we can't meet in person, we've been meeting students virtually and thinking of other projects on how to make their virtual learning experience a lot better. Like, for example, since June, we've been meeting with students via Microsoft Live events to present our curriculum and have the students follow along and answer any fun discussion questions. Now I'm going to go into a quick detail about what we've been doing in August. The paper plate weather chart activity was presented by Winnie and I, and the students learned about the differences between seasons, weather, and climate. They were to build a weather chart by using a paper plate, which were sectioned off into 4 squares, and each square represented a different type of weather. And after, they were to draw out and cut out an arrow and pin to the middle of the paper plate and point the arrow to what type of weather they were having that day. We've also had about 155 attendees participate along with us. So for this activity, our members Mary and Winnie taught the science behind the digestive system by having them draw a model of the system and do a simulation of how digestion works by using soda, crackers, and a Ziploc bag. For this event, we had about 141 elementary attendees participate and have a lot of fun with us. For this activity, Monica and Mary introduced the chemistry behind rust and oxidation by having students clean tarnished coins with different solutions. These different solutions varied by many things such as pH, and these solutions included lemon juice, orange juice, baking soda solution, soda, and etc. The students were to make observations on which solution cleaned the coins the best. We've also had about 123 attendees that range from kindergarten to 5th grade. Lastly, we had this activity last Friday. Monica and I introduced the anatomy behind the human body and the 5 organs that are vital for human survival. The main activity for this event was Monica and the students were to draw 5 vital human organs and paste them onto a human body-shaped paper cutout that they made previously. We've also had about 122 attendees follow along and have fun with us. And the Microsoft program has allowed us to expand our audience and meet students globally. We've met students from Ireland, Australia, and from other different states such as Texas. I'm from California, so I don't know a lot of people from Texas. We also have an upcoming project called Bitboxes, which is led by the amazing Jasmine Yee, where we plan to package our curriculum and corresponding materials and send them to students in underserved communities. And if you have any questions or interest in our team, please join our voice Discord.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Lily. I'm gonna steal control again.
Wait, before we move on, I just want to say that the primary team's activities are super fun. And me and Kyle and some of the team members had a discussion right before this, and we were wondering what the vital organs were because we forgot. So if you actually want to learn some stuff, you should also join because we don't know anatomy. Well, me and Kyle don't.
You and Kyle don't know anatomy, yeah.
Exactly.
They're all hands-on projects. They're all using materials that you can really easily find at home. I think that's really awesome how the outreach team has focused on making sure that anyone anywhere around the world can participate in these programs without it being a burden financially or anything. And yeah, I'm really excited about seeing what projects you have coming up ahead. If you're interested in getting involved either as a parent or as a student, feel free to, like Lily said, talk in the voice channel after and just DM her directly on Discord if you want to know more. Awesome. And Crystal, do you have control of the slides now?
Yeah, so I just have to click, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, hi guys, I'm Crystal. I'm part of the D&I team. And like Daniel said, we do have a diversity and inclusion initiative that we recently started just to create a more diverse and inclusive community, both within the project team and also to the people that we outreach to. So here I have kind of the main 5 teams and focuses that we're working on. But of course, if you guys have any other suggestions or want to be involved in any of them, just please reach out. I feel like diversity and inclusion is something that like there isn't one answer to it. And Daniel's done a lot of research and that's what he said. So it's really kind of like our take on it. But if you have any suggestions, please let us know. Can I go to the next one? Cool. So the first one is that we're working on is kind of like industry, which means first for the mentorship, we are trying to reach out to mentors from industry professionals or just upperclassmen who might have a little bit more knowledge in a certain field or a certain job function or, you know, recruitment, and kind of maybe starting a mentorship program for diversity and inclusion in different schools and things like that. And for funding, we want to try to get funding from different tech companies or any other companies who want to promote their project and like kind of what we stand for. And then in terms of the landing page, sorry, this doesn't really go as smooth as I imagined. For our landing page, we're working on creating a diversity and inclusion page on our website, which we want to have a blog place where people can kind of write about our take, like you said, our take on diversity and inclusion and kind of showing what we're doing right now, lessons we've learned, things like that. And then our diversity report is just kind of a report showing our numbers right now and kind of the goals that we want to reach. And then, yeah, we are just kind of working on design for it too. So if you're any experience or you want to gain experience in that, please reach out. We have a small team working on this page and it's really exciting and fun. Next is our student outreach. This is kind of like our biggest thing, I guess, within the diversity and inclusion initiative. First is creating professional development workshops. So this includes, like right now, I'm working on this thing called Rocker LinkedIn Profile, and we partner with Microsoft as well as employees from LinkedIn who kind of are employees from Microsoft. But basically reaching out to HBCU schools and Latino serving communities and reaching out to certain clubs like NSBE or SHIP and hosting a workshop where they really like create a stellar LinkedIn profile and kind of ramp up their resume. So we have someone scheduled for it with Howard, Cal State Fullerton, and Cal Poly Pomona, UCI, Penn State, and a couple more that are in the works. So it's really exciting. And if you have connections to any other schools that you think could benefit from it, please reach out to me. That's something, yeah. And it's not just for Rocker LinkedIn profiles. We have ones just for Bit Project and one with HPE and other like companies. So that's one of our biggest initiatives, just to get our name out there and kind of help out communities that might need a little bit of guidance in terms of professional development. And then super exciting thing right now is we have a chapter at Howard University and it's super new and it's super exciting. I don't know if Danae, Nicole, and Miracle are in this. I think I saw Nicole. So shout out to her. We're super excited to get this going. And like Kyle said, we are starting a Bit Camp with them. And you know, if you have any other suggestions of what we could do to help publicize a chapter, like or help us publicize Howard University's chapter, please let us know. It's something I'm really excited about it. And I forgot to click the next slide. Oops. And then for recruitment, it's really just reaching out to expand our Bit Project Discord community, making sure all students have access and resources and, you know, are encouraged to be involved. And then the last thing, like Daniel and Atul, they all talked about was our, you know, working with the tech developer advocates team to get content out there so other students and professors who could use Bit Project as a resource, we have that for them. So we are working to get more schools involved with that. And yeah, that's our main 5 initiatives right now. Kind of breeze through them, but you can always come back to this if you have any questions, or just ask me if you have more questions about like anything you want to be involved in, because we would love to have more people on this team. that's all I have.
Awesome. So thank you so much for that, Crystal. And
Yeah.
we are working on a lot of different projects for DNI. And like Crystal said, any mentorship and any experience in that area that you guys have to offer to us would be awesome. So sorry.
I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good.
I'll put that to you now.
If you're interested in getting involved in any of our initiatives, feel free to reach out to Crystal directly or any of the channels on Discord. I just want to talk a little bit about the Discord and what you can do there. So obviously we have our core organization. These are the people that are working on all of these programs. Our Discord is open for students who want to benefit from that and kind of get involved either as students participating in them or organizing them on the back end. So if you're interested in either, feel free to check out the Get Involved channel. That's where we see most of our how to get involved postings. There are a lot of projects still happening in the background as well. So if you have an interest and you want to propose it as an idea of a project that we should be working on and we might not already be doing, feel free to reach out to people like Crystal, Kyle, Lily, Daniel, me, and we can find a way to get you, the right place in the organization. The events channel is going to be held specifically for events like town hall, more professional development based events as well. We have resume related stuff, technical interviews, behavioral interviews, and your suggestions are always welcome as well. And then our announcements channel is where you can see things like what we talk about in town hall, but on a weekly basis. So these town hall events will happen monthly, and you can always join, hop on and ask questions. But on a weekly basis, we'll send in announcements about what we've done in the past week, what we're currently working on, and what we're looking forward to. And then the lounge channel is just like that main playground where you can talk to anyone about anything. If you want to learn more, just feel free to ask there as well. And right now, I'm just going to give it like a few minutes of Q&A. If anyone has general questions, just feel free to ask them in the chat. Does anyone have any questions? You can also unmute yourself and ask. You can be in the organization, you can be part of the community, anything.
What are the 5 vital organs in the human body again?
Anyone in the primary ed team want to help us out here? It's a real pain point for Daniel not to know.
Hello. They are the heart, the lung, the liver, the kidney. Heart, liver, kidney. There you go.
Nadia's asking, is skin important? That's the question.
Kyle and Daniel also said the same thing. Based on what scientists have said, those are the 5 vital organs, so skin isn't included.
Okay,
but it is an organ. Jasmine says no.
What is serverless? Oh, serverless? Okay, so serverless.
Yeah, do we have Bo or Natalie if you guys want? I don't, the Zoom thing doesn't let me see you. I can answer if they aren't sure.
Cool. I don't think either of them are. You can go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so serverless, the traditional structure of a front end, which is your website and associated materials, and your back end, which serves everything. The back end is traditionally a server, but serverless behaves where it is prompted. So you send a request and it spins up a tiny machine that actually executes the request and spins down afterwards. So it is a non-permanent structure for your backend. It also is the fundamental way that like Google Home and Amazon Alexa and things like that are triggered. So it's a newer, it's not super new, but it's a newer style that lots of people are just getting to the university level acquainted with. It's a very interesting way to structure your establishment. So Azure Functions does serverless, called serverless. I think in Amazon it's Lambda, and I don't know the name of it in the other clouds. But yeah, it's definitely worth a Google if you ever do backend development. It's a really cool, interesting thing. And
yeah,
honestly, front end
a lot
too.
Of money.
So yeah.
It saves a lot of money because you only pay for the stuff that you use. So it's pretty interesting to look into.
So Daniel and Kyle and Lily, we have a question about what available positions we have. Do any of you want to take a tackle at that?
Kyle, you go first.
Yeah, I can jump in first. So I forgot to mention during the BitCamps, those are the ones that we're currently running. It's very clear that that doesn't like cover the industry as a kind of, these are the only skills you need to get into the industry. Obviously, that's not very true. So if you have an idea for a BitCamp and you're quite experienced, or if you're looking to get more experienced and work with somebody who is on one of those boot camps, definitely reach out. We're constantly looking for different proposals and content we can cover there. University is scaling, so they'll definitely need more hands as things scale. Pass over to Daniel. What else we got?
Yeah. So I think after this, we're going to be on the Discord for like 15 minutes. So if you want to join, like now is the time, because like right now we're still growing. So we don't have a formal like admissions process, if you will. So if you want to get involved, this is the time to get involved, because we're
Yeah.
at the beginning stages of all of our programs.
I would recommend just DMing one of the team leads, and they will either come directly to me or Daniel, and we'll figure out what the formal process is for you. There are quite a few different roles that we're not like publicly advertising for, like community leaders, if you want to be a curriculum developer on the outreach team. Like there's always space in those teams, but we're not like publicly advertising for them. So definitely use the Discord voice channels as an opportunity to figure out what you want to do and then kind of create a proposal for yourself.
That's good.
Awesome. Are there any other questions?
Nope.
If not, okay, great. So we can hop into, these are the voice channels, and these are the people that are going to be in the different ones. So Bit University, if Daniel, Cheyenne, and Amy, and anyone else involved in organizing Bit University in our core team, if you guys could hop off the Zoom right now and just go into that voice channel, get it started. Same for BitCamp, Kyle, Bo, Natalie. Primary Ed, you guys know yourself, Lily, Mary, Jasmine. I don't think Alyssa's going to be there. And then for workshops, Crystal, Lonnie, Julia, Matt, and then community, all of the community leaders, just hop onto those voice channels. And everyone else, just feel free to disperse into whichever channel you want to go to. You're allowed to just hop between different ones and ask questions, or just listen to the other conversations that are happening as well. I'm going to stay here for 2 more minutes, and then I'll end the Zoom call and then hop into one of the voice channels too. Bye. See you guys on Discord.